Welcome to the blue belt kicking techniques. The first kick we're going to talk about is a back kick. So, from our ready stance, feet shoulder width apart, we're going to look over our right shoulder, we're going to bring our hands up, our knee is going to come up to the front. I'm slightly going to lean forward and drive that foot back. Now, a few things that I want you to think about is that as we bring this knee up and we're kicking to the rear, try not to let your knee flare out to the side. Try and keep your knee tucked underneath you. At the extension, your foot position should be toes down and heel up. Try not to have your foot turned in a side kick position. For our balance, again, if our feet are wide, if our feet are in our ready stance, make sure that you shift your body weight over top of your support leg. We look behind, our hands are up, my knee comes up, I slightly lean forward, and my foot comes back. Without the lean forward, your leg will only go so high. So I want you to think, bring your knee up, lean, you'll see that the angle of your foot changes. Now we extend and foot back. Then we would turn and do the other side. So in class, we would go from right to left and right to left. Now once again, keeping the knee below you, don't let it turn out to the side, leaning, looking, and extend. Back kick. Back kick in a defensive stance. This time, we're going to be in our defensive stance, we're looking this way. The difference between our back kick in a ready stance and back kick in a defensive stance is essentially the power being generated into the kick. I might be able to just be here, I notice somebody behind me, and I deliver my kick. Maybe I'm in my defensive stance with somebody in front of me, and I find out, or I look to the rear, someone is there, and I want to drive some power. It could be that somebody is holding my hands. I'm going to establish a good base so they don't pull me off balance, and now again I can deliver a good, strong, powerful back kick. Commonality of technique, I want you to break this down. So what I'm going to do is simply bring my feet together. When we did our back kick in a ready stance, we already started from this position. Now the difference is I'm just going to take this front leg, draw it back, extend. So I look, I draw, I extend. And with this step, if I make that a little bit quicker, I can really get a lot of power into my technique. So back kick in our defensive stance. Front thrust kick. From our defensive stance, your front thrust kick is very similar to a front kick. Our front kick is out and retract. Our front thrust kick has no retraction, but the power being driven to the front. The other difference is instead of snapping, I'm coming up and pushing. I want you to think that you're kicking a door down. You're trying to put your foot right through this person's body. So our hands are up. We're going to have a really good exaggeration of a push from the hips. Drive that knee, push with the hips. Drive your technique forward. Let your foot fall to the front. You have so much power and momentum going to the front, you're not going to be able to retract your kick. So my hands are up. I drive my knee, drive my hips, and push the foot forward. Push the foot forward. So if I do it from the side, so the hands are up, I drive with my hips, I drive with my knee, I pull with my hands, and I drive that kick forward. Front thrust kick.